Namaste and welcome. This is Abhinav from Lighthouse Souls. I welcome you. In this video, I'll be taking up chapter 7 of this book, which is the last chapter of this book by Thich Nhat Hanh, Miracle of Mindfulness. Uh, Before moving forward, if you're interested in mindfulness, I have made a dedicated Facebook group on mindfulness, so you can join that group. The link is there in the description. Uh, and also we are on Spotify, so if you prefer a podcast type listening experience, you can find us on Spotify by the name Lighthouse Souls, right? Okay, so let me start. Chapter 7 is basically a story, right? It's that story has a message. So basically there is a story by Tolstoy. The name of the chapter is The Three Wondrous Answers. The short story that Thai has given in this chapter is by Tolstoy. And so there was this one emperor, and okay, so this is the mindfulness bell. So whenever this bell rings, I bring my attention back to my breathing. Three in breaths and three out breaths, right? So this is a great way to bring mindfulness in your daily life. Okay, so there was an emperor and he had three questions. What is the best time to do each thing? What is the most important people to work with? And what is the most important thing to do at all times? These were his three questions. And basically, he issued a decree throughout his kingdom that whoever will answer the questions will get a great reward. So everyone came, and a lot of learned men came, and they answered. Like, someone said that make a time schedules, someone said that you cannot plan in advance and you should keep all your amusements aside. Someone said that you should take help of a council of ministers. Someone said that you should consult magicians and soothsayers. Someone said that put all trust in administrators. Someone said that the science was the most important thing. Someone else said religion was most important thing. So the emperor was not happy with any of the answers, and he said he thought to visit a hermit who lived up high in the mountain, right? So he went there, and that hermit actually generally just consulted only the poor. So he dressed as a poor person, and he went up to the mountain to meet the hermit. Now what happened was that the emperor approached him and said that I need your help with these three questions. So he was doing at that time, he was digging something, like he was digging a pit, right? So he was, and that hermit was very old. So the emperor said, I wanted to help ask with these three questions. So the hermit did not say, he just patted on his shoulder, and he kept up his digging, and he was panting, he was very old. So the emperor, but only patted the emperor. So the emperor just, out of his feeling for that person, he said, okay, you must be tired. Let me do it. So he started doing the whole thing. He started digging with him, right? And 1 hour passed, and 2 hour passed, and then the emperor realized that I have to ask my questions, and he said that I came to ask my questions. If you can provide the answer to my questions, you provide. Otherwise, I will go. In that, just when he asked this question, the hermit said that, can you hear someone coming, and the can you hear someone running over there? And the emperor turned his head, and he saw that there was someone who was just running to him, and he had a bloody wound in his stomach. And the emperor, when he saw, that person came to him, and the emperor saw him, he was just filled with compassion, and he cleaned the wound, and he changed his clothes, and he put him down to sleep, right? He brought a jug of fresh water, and then by the time evening happened, night happened, he slept. That person who had come, that wounded person had slept. The hermit slept. And that in the morning, then when he woke up, the emperor was like, why he had come. He was like, then he realized that I had come for something else. And that wounded person, he said, please forgive me. So the emperor said, why should I forgive you? So the hermit, the wounded man said, I was your sworn enemy. You killed my brother, you killed my family, and I wanted to take revenge. And I was on my way to kill you. But in the meanwhile, that I saw your family, sorry, I was running for you, for your life. Your attendant saw me, and they gave me this wound. And you, instead of you killing me, you took care of me, and I just want to, I want to seek forgiveness from you. So Empress was very happy. He was overjoyed. He said, "No problem. I forgive you." And he said, "I will return all your, any money that I've taken. I will rebuild build everything and everything." Now the for the emperor, it was again, he again thought, I had come this for some particular three questions. So he just asked the hermit. He asked the hermit, "Give me an answer to those three questions, otherwise I'll go." Right? I've been here last day, today also. I'm wasting my time here. So the hermit said that I've already answered your three questions. Your three questions have already been answered. So the emperor said, "How?" So the hermit said, yesterday, if you had not taken pity on my age and not given me a hand while digging these beds, you would have been attacked by that man on your way home, right? So because that emperor helped him, spent time helping him, so particular person got wounded by the attendants, and he could not kill him, otherwise the emperor would have got killed. That is number one. So that was that. Then you would have deeply regretted not staying with me. Therefore, the most important time was the time you were digging the beds. The most important person was me. The hermit was saying the most important person for you was me, and the most important pursuit was to help me. Later, when the wounded man ran up here, the most important time for the time you spent dressing his wound. For if you did not care for his wound, you would not have a chance to reconcile with him, right? And at that time, he was the most important person for you, and your most important pursuit was to take care of his wound. Remember that there is, now listen to these words, the magical words by Thai. Remember that there is only one important time, and that is now. The present moment is the only time over which we have dominion, over which we have control. The most important person is always the person you are with, the person who is next to you. He or she is the most important person who is right before you. For who knows if you will have dealings with any other person in the future. The most important pursuit is making the person standing at your side happy. For that alone is the pursuit of life. I'm having goosebumps as I'm having goosebumps as I'm, saying all these things. Okay. So so what Thai is saying is that Tolstoy's story is like a story out of the scriptures, right? It doesn't fall short of any sacred text. It is as good as a sacred text. So Thai says that we talk about social service. Now, if you know, Thai is all about engaged Buddhism, applied Buddhism, using the Buddhist principles to help people, to serve people. Right? So Thai says that we talk about social service and everything, service to others far away, helping to bring peace in the world, but often we forget that it is our very people around us that we must live for first of all. If you cannot serve your wife or husband or child or parent, how are you going to serve society? If you cannot make your own child happy, how do you expect to be able to make anyone else happy? If all our friends in the peace movement uh, do not love and help one another, who can we love or help, right? So Thai says the service of peace, the service of any person in need. The word service is so immense, right? So first we should make a modest start. Let us start with our families, our classmates, our friends, our own community. We must live for them. For if we cannot live for them, who else do we think we are living for? Now Thai says that Tolstoy is a saint, what we Buddhists would call a bodhisattva. Tolstoy is a saint, right? In Buddhism, they say it as a bodhisattva who works for the welfare of all beings, right? But Thai's question is, was the emperor himself able to see the meaning and direction of life? How can we live in the present moment, live right now with the people around us, helping to lessen their suffering and make their lives happier? How? The answer is this: we must practice mindfulness. The principle that Tolstoy gives appears easy, right? So basically, Tolstoy has just given a principle, but what is the method? What is the tool to which we can through which we can act? We can make it a reality. Is Thai says, but if we want to put it into practice, we must use the methods of mindfulness. all the methods that are given in the previous chapters, like being mindful while drinking tea, being mindful while washing clothes, your meditation, right? Your contemplation on interdependence, right? We must put into practice in order to seek and find the way. Now, at the end, Thai says that I've written all these pages for our friends. So again, coming back, this is basically a letter, a long letter that Thai has written for his friends in South Vietnam, and that letter has actually become a book, and this book has been an inspiration for a lot of people, millions of people, including me, right? So Thai is saying that I have written these pages for our friends. He must not have thought what impact it would create, right? And we are so fortunate for Thai to have walked on this planet, and through his books, like I've never met him, but I treat him as my guru, right? So this is how, this is what his energy is. And right, so Thai says many people have written about these things without having lived them, but I have only written down those things which I have lived and experienced. I hope you and your friends will find these things at least a little helpful along the path of our seeking, the path of our return, right? Returning back home, returning back to our awareness, right? So I hope this was useful. I hope that it had certain insights. Do share your top one learning from this video in the comment section. I will be very happy, and I'll personally reply to your comment or to your learning. And next in this, if you see, there are certain exercises, simple small exercises that have been given, and some at the end there are some Buddhist sutras, the Satipatthana Sutra, Anapanasati Sutra, the sutras are given, right? So this is a fabulous book. Do purchase this book. Do, if you have seen all these videos, do take time to read through all this, or go through this book once again, and not once but many times. It will give you new insights every time, right? So it was a wonderful, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Because of you, I was able to, what they say is that the best way to learn something is to teach, right? So you don't know how much I have learned by making all these videos. So I'm immensely thankful, and do connect me on that Facebook group, and let us learn and share a lot of things on mindfulness, and let us make mindfulness, let us walk mindfulness, let us talk mindfulness every moment of our life. Let us be mindful in whatever we do, we think, we act, right? Thank you so much. God bless you. Thank you so much. And yes, the next book that I'll be picking up is, yes, this book. The next book that I'm taking up is Zen Mind, Beginner Mind. Fantastic book. And it is not a beginner book. Let me be very clear. It's actually a very deep book. So whatever from my limited consciousness level, whatever nuggets of information, whatever nuggets of knowledge, not information, that this is written by Shunryu Suzuki. It's a beautiful book, one of my most helpful books in my spiritual awakening. This I will cover chapter wise, or I think maybe I make 5 to 6 parts. I will cover this book. So make it a point to purchase this book and read it with me as I am covering the chapters. And the more you read, the more we will all learn together. Okay, thank you so much. God bless you. Bye. Take care. Thank you so much. Bye.